Have you ever walked into a room and felt the atmosphere shift before a single word was spoken? You might think it is your imagination, but your nervous system is picking up on a frequency that the modern world has forgotten. Deep beneath the skin, a hidden machinery is at work, calculating the value of every man it encounters. You are being watched, not just by eyes, but by the very intuition of the species. Most men move through life as shadows, leaking their vitality into the void, unaware that they are invisible. But for the few who stop the leak, the world begins to react in ways that border on the supernatural. Hold on, before we unlock the real power of semen retention, hit that subscribe button and join our Telegram channel. Link in description. We drop daily wisdom, success tools, and energy secrets only shared there. Don't watch from the sidelines, become part of the movement. Imagine holding a lightning bolt within your own spine and refusing to let it strike the ground. This is not about a simple rule or a hobby. It is about the reclamation of your biological inheritance. When you stop chasing the fleeting ghosts of pleasure, you start building a reservoir of power that most men will never know. Can you feel the tension in the air when you refuse to be the one who blinks first? That is the side effect of a soul that has decided to stop begging for scraps. You are becoming a mountain in a world of dust, and the gravity you generate is starting to pull things toward you. There is a truth about attraction that many will never discover, buried under layers of modern distraction. It is not hidden, but it requires you to slow down enough to feel the electricity humming beneath the surface of reality. When you begin this practice, something inside you shifts quietly, subtly, but with the force of a tectonic plate. Women, whether they realize it or not, can sense this shift long before you ever open your mouth to speak. If you have ever wondered why some people are drawn to you instantly while others seem completely unaffected, stay focused. What is being revealed here will change the way you see energy and masculinity forever. Retention is not simply the act of holding something in, it is the brutal art of redirecting your life force and your identity. When a man chooses this path, he is choosing mastery over the most primal impulse known to the living. When you gain mastery over yourself, your presence begins to speak in a language that the world understands on an instinctive, guttural level. Attraction becomes less about the clothes you wear or the status you claim, and more about the raw energy you carry. Women are deeply intuitive beings who feel the weight of your soul before they hear the sound of your voice. They feel when a man is grounded or restless, when he is a pillar of confidence or a shell of insecurity. This practice sharpens your internal stability, causing you to walk differently, breathe differently, and think with a piercing clarity. Even standing perfectly still, you radiate a quiet, terrifying force that says you are not controlled by the world. You are the master of the inner storm, and that realization sends a shiver through those who are used to men who collapse. This transformation is what draws people in, not the rule itself, but the man the rule creates. Most men chase because they are empty, running after reflections to fill a void that only grows deeper with every release. A man on this path no longer chases because he no longer feels the hollow ache of the depleted. Ironically, that is exactly when the world begins to chase him, drawn to the fullness he embodies. You are no longer desperate for validation, and you do not need attention to prove you exist. Your silence becomes magnetic, and your calmness becomes a form of strength that others find intoxicating. A woman does not fall for a man because of a practice. She falls for the version of him that is forged in the fire of discipline. But here is the side effect that no one warns you about. This energy is a double-edged sword. It does not just attract. It amplifies whatever is already buried deep within your psyche. If you carry insecurity, anger, or a bloated ego, the energy you radiate will become chaotic instead of grounded. You will find that you are repelling people with the same intensity that you should be attracting them. If you hold purity in your heart, you radiate a light that others want to bathe in. If you hold confusion, you radiate a storm that makes others want to run for cover. A man who retains but lacks emotional discipline can actually push people away without ever understanding why. This is why the practice must be paired with an ironclad calmness and a ruthless self-awareness. These are the qualities that the feminine spirit is wired to respond to with total surrender. A man who holds himself with inner peace creates a feeling of safety that is deeper than physical protection. It is an emotional sanctuary, a sense that he will not collapse under the pressure of the world's demands. People are naturally drawn to emotional stability because it allows them to relax their own guard. When you are balanced, hearts open around you. When you are unstable, the world's guard recesses to meet your chaos. It is not a conscious decision made by others. It is the law of instinct. As you walk this path longer, your emotional intelligence begins to develop into something sharp and observant. Your mind becomes a clear lake, reflecting the truth of every situation without the ripples of impulsive reaction. Your sensitivity to the world around you sharpens, allowing you to see the hidden motives and silent cries of others. Instead of being tossed around by every passing whim, you begin to respond to life with a terrifying level of intention. This maturity is one of the strongest attractors known to the human experience. The world is not seeking a perfect man, but it is desperately hunting for a regulated one. It craves a man whose energy does not rise and fall with every external circumstance or minor inconvenience. You must become the man who remains himself, whether he is praised, rejected, or tested to the breaking point. This practice helps you cultivate exactly that unshakable core. But even this isn't the deepest secret. There is something far more ancient and mysterious happening beneath the surface of your skin. At its core, this journey elevates your spiritual frequency to a level that most people only experience in dreams. When you stop wasting your life force, that energy begins to rise within you like a flood tide. Your thoughts become weapons of precision, and your intuition awakens like a sleeping giant. Your presence deepens, making you more connected to the hidden rhythms of the universe. Women sense this spiritual awakening, not with their minds, but with their very souls. A woman feels when a man has a direction and a higher calling that takes precedence over his comfort. She feels when a man is lost or disconnected from his own internal compass. A retained man emits purpose without saying a single word, making his existence feel weighted with meaning. His silence feels full, and his energy feels guided by a hand that the rest of the world cannot see. This kind of man does not just attract. He inspires a desire in others to grow and heal. A relationship with a man who has mastered himself does not feel like an ordinary romance. It feels like a total transformation. This is why some are drawn to you not because they want you, but because they feel they can evolve in your shadow. Your energy becomes a mirror that reflects the best possible version of those who stand near you. Your discipline becomes a lighthouse that guides them through their own emotional tempests. Your spiritual presence is a quiet invitation for them to step into their own dormant power. Not everyone is ready for this intensity, and some will be frightened by the light you carry. Some prefer the comfort of surface-level emotions and the safety of the mundane. But the souls who are aligned with depth will see you immediately and feel the gravity of your presence deeply. This is the ultimate way to build a level of confidence that is bulletproof and eternal. It rewires the brain to seek real, soul-level connection instead of the cheap thrills that leave you hollow. It gives you the strength to avoid the lustful traps that destroy a man's spirit and leave him wandering in the dark. The truth very few men ever understand is that attraction has everything to do with the energy you choose to embody. When you live without discipline, your energy leaks into the cracks of the world, and your presence weakens. When your presence weakens, the magnetic pull you once had diminishes until you are just another ghost in the machine. But when you begin to rise, your entire being undergoes a molecular change. You become more intentional, more grounded, and more spiritually aware of the forces at play. Your masculine energy aligns in a way that naturally harmonizes with the feminine energy around you. The feminine responds to the masculine presence, the way the ocean responds to the pull of the moon. It is not a choice. It is a fundamental law of nature that cannot be broken or negotiated. When your energy rises, the world feels the heat. When it falls, they feel the cold. This path helps a man become the most regulated, honest, and spiritually connected version of himself. When you reach this state, you stop chasing the world and the world starts seeking your warmth. People are drawn to you because your energy gives them something rare: depth, authenticity, and a sense of absolute safety. In the end, attraction is never random, and a woman's response to you is a reflection of what you carry in your heart. When you elevate your energy, you elevate every connection you will ever make. When you master yourself, you naturally attract those who are aligned with your path and your purpose. This is the true power of this discipline. Not to impress the world, but to become the kind of man who no longer needs to. If you have reached this point, you have already proven that you possess the focus that most men lack. You have finished what you started, and that alone sets you apart from the masses. Live with honor, guard your essence, and watch as the world reshapes itself to match the power you hold within. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. The side effects are real, the goosebumps are a warning, and the power is yours to claim or to waste. The choice to remain whole is the choice to become a god among men. Do not let the flame go out, for it is the only thing that lights the way through the darkness of the modern age. Stand tall, keep your seed, and let the world wonder at the mystery of the man who refused to break. Your journey has only just begun, and the heights you can reach are limited only by your own resolve.